People think my life is easy. They see the tailored suit, the quiet smile, the seat beside my wife at expensive tables. They don't hear the whispers, or maybe they do and choose to ignore them. "Elena, you're glowing tonight," a man across the table says. My wife smiles politely. "Thank you." No one looks at me when they say things like that. They rarely do. I lift my glass and keep my eyes down. That's how I survive nights like this. Victor Hale leans back in his chair, fingers tapping his wineglass. "You know, Elena," he says, loud enough for the whole table, "not everyone gets this kind of support system." Elena turns her head slightly. "What do you mean?" Victor chuckles. "I mean, not everyone is lucky enough to marry so well." His eyes flick to me. Some people really know how to pick a provider. A few people laugh. Not hard, not cruel, just enough. I force a smile. "Guess I made a good choice." "Good choice." Victor raises his glass toward me. "You found yourself a dream situation. No pressure, no expectations. A kept man's life." The table goes quiet for half a second. Then someone laughs again, awkward this time. My ears burn. Elena's hand tightens around mine under the table. "Victor," she says, calm but sharp, "that's unnecessary." "I'm joking," he replies. "If he's comfortable with it, why should anyone else care?" He looks straight at me. "You are comfortable with it, right?" I open my mouth. Nothing comes out. "Of course he is," another executive says. "Why wouldn't he be?" I laugh. It sounds wrong, even to me. "Yeah, I don't mind." Victor smiles, satisfied. "See? Confidence. That's rare." I nod like it doesn't cut. Like every word doesn't feel like a palm to my face. Elena's grip tightens again. "Let's change the subject." But the damage is done. The looks don't stop. Pity, curiosity, amusement. "So," Victor continues, ignoring her, "what does a day look like for you?" he asks me. "Gym, shopping, wait for Elena to come home." I meet his eyes. "I keep busy." "Oh, I'm sure," he says. "Must be nice not having to prove anything." I swallow. "I've proven enough." He leans closer. "To who?" The table goes silent again. Elena pushes her chair back slightly. "That's enough." Victor lifts his hands. All right. No offense meant." I want to stand. I want to say something sharp, something that shuts him down. Instead, I smile. "No offense taken," I say. The words taste like ash. Dinner continues, but I don't hear much. Forks scrape. Glasses clink. Laughter rises and falls. My chest feels tight, like I'm holding my breath underwater. Elena leans toward me. "You okay?" she whispers. "Fine," I whisper back. "Just tired." She studies my face. "We can leave." "No," I say quickly. "Don't make it a thing." Victor watches us, amused. A few minutes later, I stand. "Excuse me," I say. "I need some air." Elena follows me a step. "I'll come." "No," I say softly. "Stay." Her eyes search mine. I look away. As I walk out of the room, I hear Victor laugh again. "Strong man," he says. "Knows his place." The hallway is quiet. I breathe slowly, counting steps. One question keeps circling my head, louder than his voice. What does my wife really think of me? I sit on the couch in the dark, staring at the closed door to Elena's office. The light under it hasn't moved for hours. "You're still working?" I call. "Just a minute," she answers. I nod even though she can't see me. The laughter from dinner replays in my head. Victor's smile. The sound of my own fake laugh. I rub my palms together and breathe. I hear her door open. "Why didn't you come back in?" Elena asks. I wasn't feeling great. She studies me. "Because of Victor." I'm fine. That's not an answer. I shrug. He likes attention. He crossed a line. Did he? I asked. Or did he just say what everyone thinks? Silence stretches. Elena walks into the kitchen and pours water. Talk to me. I'm talking. No, you're hiding. I laugh softly. I learned from the best. She frowns. That's unfair. So is being laughed at. Her jaw tightens. You think I enjoyed that? I think you're used to it. She puts the glass down harder than needed. Used to what? People thinking I'm nothing. That's not true. Then why didn't you shut him down? I did. After he said it, I reply. She exhales. You want me to fight everyone for you? I want you to see me, I say. Not your shadow. She looks away. I stand. I had a career once. I know. No, I say. You don't. I had plans. I had offers. And you chose to stay, she says. I didn't ask you to quit. You didn't have to. She crosses her arms. So now you regret it. I regret disappearing. Her eyes soften for a second. I needed you. I know, I say. Your company was drowning. I held it up while you built it. And I didn't notice, she asks quietly. You noticed the results. That's not fair, she says. I sacrificed too. I never said you didn't. She steps closer. Then what do you want from me? I hesitate. She tilts her head. Does it bother you because it's true, or because they said it? The words hit harder than Victor's joke. I stare at her. You think it's true? I'm asking. I laugh, sharp. You married me knowing who I was. I married a man who believed in me. And now you act like you resent it. I resent being invisible. You're not, she snaps. You're just comfortable. That's what you think? I ask. That I'm comfortable being nothing? She flinches. I didn't say nothing. You didn't have to. Her voice rises. I can't keep apologizing for succeeding. I never asked you to. Then what is this? She demands. Punishment. No, I say. It's pain. She runs a hand through her hair. You think I don't feel guilty? Do you? I ask. She hesitates. Sometimes. That's the problem, I say. Sometimes isn't enough. She shakes her head. I'm trying to keep everything together. So was I reply. Her eyes shine. I didn't ask you to carry that. You didn't ask, I say, but you took it. Silence falls again, heavier now. So what do you want? She asks again. I want to know if you're proud of me. She opens her mouth, closes it. That's enough. I'll sleep in the guest room, I say. She looks hurt. Don't do this. I need space. I turn and walk away before she can stop me. The guest bed feels too big. I lie staring at the ceiling, listening to the house settle. For the first time in years, I don't know where I belong. My phone buzzes. Please don't shut me out, Elena texts. I type, erase, type again. I'm not shutting you out. I'm drowning. A pause. I don't see you as weak, she replies. That's not what I asked. I type. Dots appear. Disappear. I don't know how to fix this, she finally sends. Neither do I. I stare at the ceiling longer, listening for her footsteps. They never come. I wonder when silence became heavier than shouting, and when I started measuring my worth by what I gave up instead of who I was. I whisper to the dark. I was more than this. No one answers. The house stays quiet, and I finally admit the truth I've been avoiding. If I don't find myself again, I'll lose more than this marriage. That thought scares me more than Victor's laugh, because this time, the danger is real and inside me, alone now. Daniel whistles when he sees me. Damn, he says, standing up from the cafe table, you still look like you own the place. I smile. I don't own anything. He laughs and hugs me anyway. Still saying that? Someone has to. He studies my face. You look tired. I am. Marriage, he asks. Life, I say. We sit. The coffee arrives. He stirs his cup slowly. I read about Elena every day. Stock news, interviews, power lists. That's her world. And yours? He asks. I shrug. I orbit it. He leans back. You used to hate orbiting. I used to hate a lot of things. He watches me carefully. You okay? I tell him about the dinner, about Victor, about the laugh that won't leave my head. Daniel's smile fades. That guy's dangerous. Because he runs his mouth? No, Daniel says. Because he runs departments. What do you mean? I consult for a fund that watches Elena's company, he replies. Victor controls procurement and compliance oversight together. That's not normal. It's efficient, I say. No, Daniel says. It's power. I look at him. You think something's wrong? I think the numbers don't match the confidence, he says. There are gaps, delays, quiet loans. Elena would notice. CEOs trust the people keeping the lights on, Daniel says. That's how the lights get turned off. I swallow. You think Victor's a problem. I think he's patient, Daniel says. And arrogant. That sounds familiar. My phone buzzes. A message from Elena. Meeting ran late. You coming home soon? Yeah, I type back. Almost. Daniel watches me. Does she know? About what? How much you see? I see what she lets me. He sighs. You were always the sharp one. I stopped sharpening, I say. That night, I take the stairs instead of the elevator. I don't know why. Maybe instinct. Maybe guilt. Victor's voice floats down the hallway. She trusts me, he says into his phone. That's the beauty of it. I stop. She thinks loyalty is control, he continues. By the time she realizes, it won't matter. I step closer to the corner. And her husband, he laughs. Completely harmless. He claps when told. My chest tightens. No, Victor says. I'm not rushing. Let the board get comfortable. Let the investors lean. A pause. Blind trust is a gift, he adds. And she gives it freely. I back away before he can see me. At home, Maria is waiting by the door. Elena's assistant. Clipboard tight to her chest. You missed the briefing, Maria says. I had something to do. She nods. She asked for you. Is she still working? Yes, Maria replies. She hesitates. You should come. I follow her to the office door. It's open. Elena is standing, speaking confidently to a screen full of executives. Victor has been instrumental, Elena says. His leadership stabilized critical operations. Victor sits near the display, calm, smug. My stomach twists. Elena, Maria says softly. Elena smiles when she sees me. Perfect timing. The call ends. Victor stands. Glad you could join us, he says to me. I nod. Wouldn't miss it. Elena moves closer to me. I have an announcement. My chest sinks. Effective immediately, she says. Victor is being promoted to Executive Director of Strategic Oversight. Applause fills the room. Victor looks at me while clapping starts. Big step, he says quietly. Elena beams. He's earned it. I clap too. Slow. Polite. Loud enough. Inside, something sour spreads. Maria watches me. Her eyes flicker with something like concern. Victor moves past me, murmuring, See? All rewards. I keep clapping. Elena turns to me. What do you think? It's impressive, I say. She smiles. I knew you'd understand. I nod again. The room empties. Victor is already on his phone, laughing softly. I stop clapping when my hands start shaking. I want to tell her. I want to pull her aside and shout the truth. But Victor stands close. Too close. And I remember Daniel's words. CEOs trust the people keeping the lights on. I force a smile and take Elena's hand. Congratulations, I say. She squeezes my fingers. We did this. I nod. I feel sick. Because I've just realized the joke wasn't the insult. It was the warning. I used to introduce myself with confidence, degrees, skills, contacts. Now people introduce me as Elena Carter's husband. Do you remember when you argued with professors? Daniel asks, leaning back in his chair. I argued because I cared, I say. You stopped caring? No, I reply. I stopped being loud. He studies me. Silence isn't the same as peace. I know, I say. But it kept things stable. For who? He asks. For her, I answer. He nods slowly. And you vanished. I didn't vanish, I say. I chose to step back. Daniel sips his drink. That choice comes with a price. I'm paying it. Later that night, I call someone I haven't spoken to in years. You finally remembered I existed, a woman says. Rachel, I say, smiling despite myself. Still sharp. Still hiding, she fires back. I'm asking questions, I reply. She pauses. About what? Victor Hale, I say. Her breath changes. Careful. That bad. Worse, she says. He's been shopping information. To who? Anyone with leverage, Rachel answers. Subsidiaries, competitors, and people who hate Elena's rise. Do you have proof? I don't keep smoke without fire, she says. But I can point you where to look. I don't thank her. She doesn't need it. The next day, I meet Jason, a compliance analyst who used to owe me favors. You didn't hear this from me, he says, sliding his phone across the table. I won't repeat it. You won't have to, he replies. I scroll. Emails. Redacted names. Timestamps that don't make sense. Why show me this? I ask. Because Victor scares me, Jason says. And you don't. That's not comforting. It's honest, he replies. At home, Elena doesn't notice my silence. She's on calls, pacing, focused. You didn't eat, she says. I'm not hungry. You always say that, she replies. I remember when she used to ask why. That night, my phone buzzes again. You digging? Rachel texts. Carefully. Good, she replies. Because he's digging too. Into what? Investor trust, she says. He's setting a trap. I ask Daniel to introduce me to someone neutral. I don't want drama, I tell him. You're already in it, he replies. The meeting is short. He's leaking selective data, the man says. Enough to drive uncertainty. Then he swoops with solutions. Elena would never agree, I say. She won't, the man answers. The board will. My chest tightens. Emails begin lining up like dominoes. Dates. Attachments. Code words. I don't feel anger. I feel focus. Victor isn't mocking anymore. He's moving. That changes everything. One evening, Maria stops me near the elevator. You're working late, she says. You notice now. She gives a small smile. I always noticed. Then tell me, I say. Does Victor scare you? She hesitates. He controls too much. That wasn't a denial. No, she admits. Has he asked you for anything unusual? She lowers her voice. He asked me to delay reports. Not change them. Just delay. That's how it starts, I say. Yes, she whispers. I don't tell her what I know. Not yet. I sit at my desk later, listening to recordings Daniel helped me obtain. Victor's voice is calm, confident. She won't see it coming, he says. She trusts too deeply. I pause the audio. She trusts the wrong people, I say to myself. I gather everything. Files. Backups. Secure copies. My finger hovers over Elena's contact. I don't press it. For the first time, I understand something about myself. I don't need her protection. I don't want rescue. I want recognition. I want her to see the man she married, not the silence he became. So I wait. Not because I'm afraid. Because this time, I'm ready. I look at my reflection in the dark screen and say softly, "I'm still here." The man staring back doesn't look small anymore. The restaurant is quieter this time, softer music, heavier air. I watch Victor across the room as he laughs with donors. "Enjoying yourself?" he asks when I step beside him. "I wanted a word," I say. He raises an eyebrow. "Bold." "Private," I add. He smirks and gestures toward the terrace. "After you." Outside, the city lights glow below us. Victor leans on the railing like he owns the view. "You don't blend well when you try to be serious," he says. "It doesn't fit the image." "What image is that?" I ask. "The supportive husband," he replies. "The house type." "I'm not here to argue," I say. "Pity," Victor says. "I enjoy watching you try." I meet his eyes. "You're leaking information." He laughs loudly. "Careful. Procurement delays," I continue. "Selective reports. Quiet calls to investors." He claps slowly. "Brave." "Sloppy," I say. He steps closer. "You're overreaching." "Am I?" "You think Elena will choose you over results?" he asks. "She didn't build this by feelings." "You're betting on that." "I'm counting on it," he says. "And counting on you staying silent. That's what you do." "I used to," I reply. Victor smiles. "You're adorable when you pretend you matter." "You should stop," I say. "Or what?" he asks. "You'll cry to her." "I won't cry," I say. "I'll wait." His smile fades briefly. "Don't test me." "You already tested her," I reply. He laughs again, louder. "She trusts me." "She trusts numbers, not wounded pride. And when the numbers turn—" "They won't," he says. "I control them." "You control delays," I say. "Not truth." He leans in close. "Listen carefully. You are tolerated because you're harmless. Don't change that." "I already did," I say. We rejoin the dinner. Elena looks radiant, confident. She has no idea. Later at home, the house is quiet. Elena sets her purse down. "You were tense," she says. "I needed to be." She watches me. "What happened with Victor?" "I spoke to him." Her shoulders stiffen. "About us," I say. "And your company." She blinks. "Both in one night." "Both are crossing lines," I answer. I pull out my phone. Then a folder. Then a drive. "Elena," I say, "listen before reacting." She folds her arms but nods. I show her emails. Dates. Audio clips. Her face goes still. "He's leaking control," I say, creating fear, then offering stability. She doesn't interrupt. Procurement delays hide debt exposure, I continue. Compliance reports were delayed on purpose. She takes a breath. "Why are you just telling me this now?" "Because I needed proof," I say. "And because he thought I'd never speak." She says nothing. "He called me harmless," I add. "He thinks you'll always choose him." Her mouth tightens. "That's his mistake," I say. Silence fills the room. I wait. She sinks into a chair slowly. "How long?" "Months," I admit. Her eyes shut. "You carried this alone." I didn't want to be dismissed. She opens her eyes. They're wet. "Did I do that?" "Not on purpose," I say. But silence feels like permission. She looks at the evidence again. "You didn't come to me angry," she says. "I came clear," I reply. She nods faintly. "That scares me more." I sit across from her. "I'm not asking you to choose me over the company." She laughs softly, broken. "You already chose us over yourself once." I don't answer. She whispers, "How long have you been protecting me without me noticing?" The words hang between us. I swallow. Long enough to forget who I was. She reaches out, takes my hand tightly. "I see you now." "For real?" I ask. "Yes," she says. "And Victor just made the worst mistake of his life." Her grip is steady, different. I won't rush this, she says. But I won't ignore it. I don't want revenge, I tell her. She meets my eyes. I want justice. For the first time, the power in the room shifts. Not loud, not cruel, certain. I lean back, feeling something loosen in my chest. I'm not stepping aside again. She smiles faintly. Good. The table between us isn't heavy anymore. It's aligned. And somewhere in the city, Victor still thinks he's winning. That thought almost makes me smile. Elena doesn't raise her voice anymore. That's how I know something is wrong. At breakfast, she checks her phone and sips coffee. Busy day, she says. You always say that, I reply. She smiles. Then it must be true. I watch her carefully. No anger. No urgency. Just calm. During the ride to the office, she says, Did Victor speak to you? Yesterday, I answer. What did he say? He thinks I'm still harmless. She nods once. Good. At work, I sit in on meetings I used to avoid. Board members talk. Elena listens instead of leading. So we agree, one director asks. Elena folds her hands. Let's review compliance first. Victor exhales loudly. Again. Yes, she says. Again. He laughs. We're wasting time. Then you should have nothing to fear, she replies. I feel eyes on me. Victor's smile turns sharp. Nice to see you involved, he says. Found a hobby. I'm learning, I reply. He smirks. Careful. Learning leads to confusion. Elena doesn't react. Later, she makes calls. Investors. Lawyers. Auditors. I want independent reviews, she says into the phone. Quiet ones. Victor interrupts her twice during meetings. She doesn't stop him. She lets him talk. He grows louder each day. I built half this structure, Victor snaps in one session. Without me, this company folds. Elena, a board member asks. She nods calmly. Noted. Victor looks at me and grins. Guess loyalty counts more than principle. I hold his gaze. Guess we'll find out. That afternoon, he corners me near the elevators. You should talk to your wife, he says. She's making things difficult. She's being thorough. He laughs. She's being emotional. You sure? I ask. Women get quiet before they break, he says smugly. I smile. Or before they strike. His eyes narrow. You think you're clever. I think you're loud, I reply. He steps closer. Stay in your lane. I am, I say. Right beside her. That night at home, I finally ask, what are you really doing? Elena sets her phone down. Counting. Counting what? Mistakes, she says. His. And mine. I sit across from her. You're pretending nothing's wrong. That's the point. He's getting arrogant. He always was, she replies. I just let him believe it. I hesitate. What if this destroys him? She meets my eyes. What if it saves us? The question makes my chest tighten. I don't want blood, I say. I wanted truth. And you gave it to me, she answers. Now I decide what it costs. I look away. Sometimes I think I should have left it alone. She reaches for my hand. Do you regret speaking? No, I say quickly. I regret hiding. She nods. So do I. The next day, Victor pushes harder. Delays are unacceptable, he shouts in a meeting. We risk confidence. Elena listens. Confidence in who? In leadership, he snaps. She smiles faintly. Leadership doesn't shout. Victor slams his folder. This witch hunt ends now. The room goes still. Elena doesn't blink. Sit down. He freezes. You're crossing lines, he says slowly. You crossed them first, she replies. His laugh sounds forced. You need results, Elena, not loyalty tests. She looks at me. I know that look. She's asking, Later, in the car, she doesn't start the engine. Tell me something. What? If I finish this, she says carefully, do I finish it for you or for me? I take a breath. What happens if we walk away? He wins, she says, and tries again. And if you end him, she pauses. There will be fallout, noise, fear. I think of Victor's laugh, Daniel's warning, Maria's hesitation. Are you sure? She asks quietly. This is your line too. I meet her gaze. I don't want revenge. She nods. Neither do I. I want this to stop, I say. For good. She waits. I want him exposed, I continue. Not crushed out of anger. Removed because he chose this. Her shoulders relax. So you're sure, she says. Yes, I reply. I'm not asking you to protect me anymore. She reaches over, squeezes my hand. Then let me protect what we built. I nod. She starts the car. Her voice is calm, steady. Victor thinks silence is weakness, she says. Tomorrow he'll learn its preparation. I lean back, heart racing. For the first time, the storm isn't around us. It's aimed. The conference hall hums with quiet confidence. Expensive confidence. Screens glow behind the stage, showing numbers everyone trusts. Elena sits beside me, calm. Too calm. Are you ready? I whisper. She doesn't look away. I've never been more prepared. Victor stands near the front, talking loudly to investors. This quarter proves stability, he says. We've never been stronger. Applause follows him. I watch his hands. Steady. Cocky. The board chair clears his throat. Elena, you wanted to add something? Yes, she says evenly. Before we vote. Victor's smile tightens. She stands. I believe transparency is owed to everyone in this room. Victor laughs lightly. Always dramatic. She presses the remote. The screen changes. What is this? Victor asks. Transaction records, Elena replies. Hidden through delayed reports. Murmurs ripple. That's misleading, Victor says. You're confusing. Let me finish, she says. She clicks again. Emails appear. Names highlighted. A board member stands. These are investor communications. Yes, Elena says. Selective leaks. Victor shakes his head. Fabricated. Elena turns to me. Play the audio. I do. Victor's voice fills the hall. Confident. She trusts me. By the time she sees it, it won't matter. Gasps echo. Victor lunges forward. That's illegal. That's you, Elena says. Another executive stands. There are compliance violations here. And insider trading, Elena adds. Security shifts. Victor points at me. This is his doing. He's bitter. I meet his eyes. You underestimated quiet. Elena doesn't raise her voice. You abused blind trust. Victor laughs wildly. You need me. The board knows it. A director speaks. We know enough. Victor turns. You're ruining everything. You did, Elena replies. She clicks again. Bank records. Shell accounts. Transfers. The room erupts. This can't be ignored, someone yells. Victor's face drains. We can fix this. Elena nods. We will. She looks to security. Escort him out. Victor freezes. You don't have authority. You lost it, she says. Security grabs his arms. He thrashes. This isn't over. Investors shout questions. Cameras flash. Victor looks at me then. Not arrogant. Afraid. You knew, he says hoarsely. You could have stopped this. I did, I reply softly. By letting you speak. They drag him toward the exit. This company collapses without me, he screams. Elena doesn't look back. The doors close. Silence pounds louder than applause. The board chair exhales. Meeting adjourned. People erupt into frantic whispers. Elena sits. Her hand shakes once, then stills. "You okay?" I ask. She nods. "Because you stood." Reporters flood the hallway later. Elena comments. Someone shouts. She squeezes my hand. No statements today. At home, the house feels different. Lighter. We sit in the living room without speaking. "I didn't feel triumph," she finally says. "Me neither." "I felt relieved," she admits. "So did I." Her phone buzzes. She ignores it. Mine doesn't. Unknown number. I answer despite myself. "It's me," Victor says. His voice sounds small. "You should hang up," I say. "Please," he says. "Just listen." I sigh. "Go on." "I was proud," he says. "Too proud. I thought control was power." "You thought silence meant weakness," I reply. "I didn't think you mattered," he admits. "That's your real crime." He swallows. "I'm ruined." "You made choices," I say. "I can fix things," he pleads. "Tell Elena." "No," I say. He laughs bitterly. "You win." "I didn't play," I reply. There's silence. "I admired her," he says suddenly. "I wanted what she built." "You tried to steal it." "I wanted to be seen," he whispers. "So did I." He exhales shakily. "I'm sorry." I say nothing. "You could respond," he continues. "You could." I hang up. I sit there, phone dark in my hand. Elena watches me. "Was that him?" "Yes." "What did he say?" "Nothing worth carrying," I answer. She nods. "Good." That night, I lie awake. I expected satisfaction. I feel clarity instead. The insult doesn't sting anymore. The laughter is gone. Victor's fall wasn't loud to me. It was settling. In the morning, headlines scream chaos. Inside, I'm calm. Elena pours coffee. "You okay?" "I am," I say. Strangely. She smiles tiredly. "Me too." "I don't feel powerful," I admit. "You never needed to," she replies. "You just needed truth." I nod. Victor thought dominance was volume. He thought winning required stepping on someone else. But watching his downfall taught me something sharper than revenge. You don't need to crush a man to stand tall. You just need to stop holding him up. The world watched him fall. I watched myself rise quietly from the place I hid. That difference matters more than revenge ever could. And for the first time since that dinner long ago, I breathe without weight. The kept man is gone. So is the lie. The noise doesn't fade all at once. It lingers, softer but persistent. Elena Carter exposes executive fraud, a reporter says on TV. I mute it. "You don't want to watch?" Elena asks. "I lived it," I reply. She nods. For days, people call me things. The man behind the CEO. The silent force. The kept man who struck back. I hate that phrase. But it doesn't cut the same way anymore. At a press conference, Elena stands alone at the podium. I watch from the back. "This company survived because of sacrifices made long before today," she says. "Some of those sacrifices were invisible." Cameras flash. "My husband stepped aside so I could build this," she continues. "He protected the foundation when no one was looking." The room goes quiet. I lower my head. Later in the car, she says, "I meant every word." "I know," I reply. "That didn't feel like enough," she admits. "It was," I say. "Because you didn't owe an apology. You gave recognition." She exhales slowly. "I should have done that earlier. Then we wouldn't be here," I answer. She glances at me. "Is that regret?" "No," I say. "It's acceptance." At home, she sets 2 cups of tea down. "I need to ask you something." "Anything." "What do you want now?" she asks. I don't answer right away. "I don't mean what you think you should want," she adds. "I mean what's yours." "That's new," I say. "It should have been old," she replies. I look around the room. The silence feels healthy, not heavy. I don't want a title, I say slowly. Or applause. No board seat, she asks softly. I smile. No board seat. She laughs once. Good. I'd worry if you did. I want work that feels honest, I continue. Something I don't have to explain or hide. Next to me, she asks. Beside you, I correct. Not behind. Her eyes soften. Equal. Yes, I say. She reaches across the table. I can take a step back. I don't need that, I reply. I need space to step forward. She nods. Then we'll make room. The next week, offers flood in. Advisory role. Strategic partner. Public figure. I decline them all. Daniel calls. You're turning down easy power? It doesn't feel mine, I say. Then what does? I'll tell you when I find it, I reply. I meet Maria for coffee. You okay? She asks. I am now. You changed the building, she says. People speak differently. I hope they listen differently too. She smiles. They are. That night, Elena watches me draft notes. Planning something, she asks. Rebuilding, I say. Care to share? Later, I reply. I want to own the first step alone. She studies me, then nods. I trust you. Those words land deeper than praise. Weeks pass. The noise fades into background hum. One evening, Elena says, they still ask about you. Let them, I reply. What should I call you in interviews? She's half smiling. My husband, I say. That's enough. She laughs. Deal. We sit on the balcony, city lights below. I used to think losing yourself was love, she says quietly. I used to think staying silent was strength, I answer. What do you think now? She asks. I think love needs witnesses, I say. Including yourself. She leans her head on my shoulder. I'm glad you stayed, she says. I'm glad I didn't disappear, I reply. The kept man label drifts by in my memory and dissolves. I'm not behind her. I'm not ahead of her. I'm beside her, building something that carries my name without borrowing hers. That feels like healing. And for the first time in years, my future sounds like my own voice. I run into Daniel on a quiet afternoon, the kind that doesn't demand anything. You look steady, he says. That's new, I reply. He grins. I meant it as a compliment. We sit outside, no rush this time. No tension. You still being written about? He asks. Sometimes, I say. Less noise now. And the label? He asks. Still floating around? I pull out my phone and scroll. A comment stares back at me. Kept man with a lucky break. I smile. Daniel notices. That doesn't bother you? It used to, I say. Now it just sounds small. He studies me. What changed? I stopped arguing with strangers, I reply, and started listening to myself. He nods. That'll do it. We talk about work. Real work. The kind I chose without explaining it to anyone. You happy? He asks. I'm honest, I say. That's better. He raises his cup. To patience. I clink it. To knowing when to wait. That night, Elena and I walk without destination. The city is quieter now, or maybe we are. Someone called you a kept man again, she says gently. I saw. And I laughed, I say. She stops walking. Why? Because I finally know the truth. She looks curious. Tell me. I wasn't kept, I say. I was patient. I chose timing over noise. Her lips curve into a soft smile. You always did. I didn't know it then. She reaches for my hand. You used to flinch when people talked about us, she says. I used to hide, I admit. And now I stand, I say. Quietly. On my own feet. She squeezes my fingers. I like this version of us. So do I. We sit on a bench, watching lights pass. You never asked for credit, she says. I asked to be seen. And now, she asks. Now I don't need asking, I reply. She leans closer. You earned that without taking anything. That's the part people miss, I say. Power isn't taking. It's choosing. Choosing what? She asks. Who you are, I answer. Even when the world prefers a simpler story. She rests her head against my shoulder. I used to lead from 10 steps ahead. I used to follow from 10 behind, I say. And now, she asks. I look down at our joined hands. We walk side by side. She smiles. Not above. Not ahead. Beside. I finish. The city breathes around us. I think back to the laughter, the insult, the silence that almost swallowed me. I think about the man I was when I stayed quiet out of fear. I think about the man I am now, quiet by choice. People will always name you, slice you into something they understand. I let them, because I already chose my name. I chose patience over pride. I chose clarity over noise. I chose myself without leaving her. And that choice stays with me, steady and unshaken, long after the whispers fade. Elena tightens her grip on my hand. You ready to go home? She asks. I already am, I say. We stand together, moving forward without proving anything. Not because the world approved, but because I did.